What's going on, guys? It's Noah here with Simple Betterment. Today, we're going to do a video. It's a little different than some of our other videos. It's similar to our Mental Health Monday, but it's just going to be me giving you guys some advice based on some things I've lived in my past, or my present. Depends on the topic. So, today, we're going to be talking about how to plan a routine with a busy life. If you're new here, consider pushing that like button and that subscribe button. We would love to see you around. If you enjoy the content, feel free to leave a comment below as well. I will leave my links for Mental Health Monday, the anonymous form submission for videos to talk about mental health on Mondays. I will also try to leave a link for Redeemed Apparel. Get your new shirts there. This is the Genesis tee, the yellow one of my favorite t-shirts. Has a great overweight t-shirt feel with a great baggy fit. So other than that, no further ado, we're going to get right into the video. So you may be asking yourself, oh, Noah, why do I need to learn how to plan my day, how to plan things in my life? Why do I need to know that? Well, if you have a busy life, it's pretty easy, pretty simple concept to understand. I have a busy life, so I need a plan to make my busy life better. If you don't have a busy life, you might think, oh, I don't have a busy life, so I don't need a plan. And that's not true. I think everyone should plan. I think it's a good idea for everyone to plan, as it will optimize your life and the things that go on during it. For me, planning's made my life simpler and easier. Most of my friends who have plans in their lives say that they've enjoyed planning their lives and they do way better after they plan everything. So, just going to give you a basic rundown how to start planning. So, first off, you have to assess your responsibilities. I would say assess your responsibilities slash your necessities. Some things that people have a hard time planning is like their meals, their food, what time they need to wake up. I would say that, kind of goes before your responsibilities, but it's in tandem. So, like, for example, as a college student, I got to wake up at a certain time. It's got to make it to class at a certain time. And I have to eat my lunch at a certain time. And then I have to get off class at a certain time so that I can get home and either do my homework or prepare to go to work. So those are some of my responsibilities, some of my necessities. So I'm going to plan, okay, what time do I need to wake up so that I can either plan my lunch, I can lay out my lunch, make my lunch, um, or some people don't have to do that in college specifically. Sometimes people eat out, but I would encourage people to make their own food, make their own lunches. Maybe we'll get a video on that soon. Quick ways to make healthy meals in college or with a busy life. Um, but I would say, you got to plan to eat your breakfast or plan your lunch in between whatever your responsibility is, whether it be school, work, you know, um, if you have a business at your house, depending on all those things, you gotta have a plan to when to eat and when to wake up. So first off, assess your responsibilities, and then you got to prioritize them in order of what's the most important, what's the least important. So my main priorities, I would say, are my relationship with God, my food, um, probably my girlfriend, school, and work. Okay. And then, waking up. I would throw waking up in there as probably one of the more important responsibilities or necessities. So, for example, if I have classes at 9 o'clock, right, I want to wake up before class. And because God and food are some of my necessities and priorities, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to eat my breakfast, prepare my breakfast. While I do that, I'm going to read my Bible or pray every day, because that helps start out my day. And then I'm going to, you know, prepare to get my clothes on, get dressed, brush my teeth, get ready, go to class. Um, I prefer to make my meals in advance. So I spend one day a week, I cook all my meals or all the things necessary for my meals and I put them together before I leave. So I put together my lunch. I would grab all the things I need, go to class, you know, take all my notes in class, pay attention in class. When I'm done, eat the lunch that I brought, then go to my next class. Whenever that class is over, I would go home and then I would do, my homework if that's what I have to do that night, or my work because that's what I have to do that night. So I would just say to assess what's important to you and what you need to do it. And then you got to make a schedule. So I kind of just briefly touched on, what I would do for a schedule. For some people, They don't eat breakfast, so they wouldn't need to wake up and eat breakfast. They would maybe have a little more time sleeping. Um, some people don't go to school, but they go to work, so they have different hours, different times you need to wake up, different things you need to prioritize. So I would say the best thing to do is to make a schedule. I'd prefer a written schedule. It helps a lot of people, especially my folks with ADHD. I understand how hard it can be to, keep everything in track in your mind without, like wandering off course. So I would say a written schedule, even on your phone, like on your phone, if you use your phone every day, like I assume most people do, plan out a schedule. That helps you out. A lot of times after you've used the schedule for a while and like had the same schedule, you won't need to write it down anymore and you won't need to look at your phone anymore. It'll be kind of memorized. But I would say create some sort of schedule. You can even create one in your head. Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna make my breakfast at 8:30. I'm gonna wake up at 8. I'm gonna make my breakfast at 8:30 after I put on clothes and brush my teeth and do my hair and put on deodorant. Okay. And then I'm going to eat my breakfast, try to finish up my breakfast by like 8:50 so that I can gather everything together at 8:50 and then get out the door at 9 in the morning. Okay. That's one way to make a schedule. Use time. Time is, my favorite way to do it. I guess there's other ways to do it. You could make an order of things you need to do in order so that it's not necessarily the same time every day, but first thing I need to do is wake up and then I get my clothes on and then I brush my teeth and then I eat my breakfast and then I put on my deodorant. Like if you do that, you don't necessarily have a specific time, especially if you don't wake up the same time every day, depending on your different activities. So yeah, say make a schedule, write it out, put it on your phone. Some people can do it in their mind, but those are my two suggested ways of doing it. And then try out your schedule. So sometimes you're going to write down a schedule, you're going to make up a schedule, you're going to plan out a schedule. It's not going to work, right? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to set a schedule, and I'm going to decide I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and then I'm going to make my breakfast at 8:30, and then I'm going to be out the door by 9. Okay. Well, sometimes I have a hard time going to sleep at an early enough time where I'll wake up at 8 o'clock. So it would probably not be very beneficial for me to wake up earlier, as that would be harder for me. So I might try to wake up earlier for like a week or two. It works for the first week, doesn't work for the second week. Try it for a third week. If it doesn't work again, I would change it. I would adjust my schedule and say, okay, I need to make something, make some sort of food or prepare some sort of thing ahead of time so that I can wake up a little later and still get to my class on time, get to my work on time. Um, Really, you're just gonna have to personalize your schedule for yourself. But the first way to organize your life and to help out your life is to make a schedule based on things around you and then adjust it to your personal life. This video was a little more basic than some of my other videos. I didn't really go into a whole lot of depth here. Just want to give you a groundwork for how to establish a plan, how to set up a plan and a routine. Um, if you guys would like me to do more videos, like how to plan cooking around your work or how to plan, you're running errands around school, you gotta leave those in the comments and I can try to help you guys do that. Even if it's something like how to plan hanging out with your friends over going to school and doing your work, um, then I'll make a video on that. I'd be glad to do that. But for now, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'll have 2 more videos suggested right here for you guys. Anyways, signing out, Simple Betterment. This is Noah. I'll see you guys for the next video.